The Clumber Spaniel Club of America welcomes you to its Judges Education Program. The club appreciates your interest in our breed. This seminar outlines the defining characteristics of the Clumber Spaniel breed and provides rationale for how these qualities contribute to the function of the Clumber Spaniel as a hunting dog. When judging the Clumber Spaniel, it is important to consider the dog as a whole and not focus on specific faults. Finding and rewarding strength is important for helping to improve the breed, while awarding the top spot to a dog with a few faults, but no major virtues, can lead to mediocrity. Above all, judge the Clumber Spaniel by keeping in mind its original purpose and function as a hunting companion, working alongside the hunter, powering through heavy cover to seek out a hiding partridge or pheasant, flushing the bird to wing, and eagerly retrieving the downed bird to its master's hand. The Clumber Spaniel is a sporting dog, meaning that it works alongside the hunter rather than hunting independently, as does a terrier or a hound. Though its exact origin remains uncertain, it was developed into its modern form by the British aristocracy beginning in the 18th century. It was bred to find and flush upland game birds such as grouse and partridge. In particular, the clumber was used to break through thick brambles and gorse bushes, which were impenetrable by the lighter spaniels. The clumber is one of the oldest of the flushing spaniel breeds. One of the first 10 AKC recognized breeds, today the clumber retains its hunting instinct and desire. Clumbers have superior scenting ability, and once on scent, they exhibit a persistence that could be considered stubbornness. They're methodical and thorough, often finding birds that have been missed by faster spaniels, such as the springers and the cockers. The clumber participates in and excels in many companion and performance events. It is truly a versatile breed. The Clumber Spaniel is not a split breed, and it is very important to clumber fanciers worldwide that the breed not become divided into field type and show type. Most American hunting clumbers also hold conformation titles. Dogs that excel in the field can also be and usually are successful in the conformation ring, and a significant number have excelled both in the field and conformation ring. It is therefore paramount that conformation judges understand the original purpose and function of the breed and evaluate and reward dogs accordingly. Each spaniel breed has an official hunting style, and it is useful for conformation judges to be familiar with each breed's mode of hunting. The Clumber Spaniel style is best understood by examining the historical purpose for which the breed was developed. The clumber was selectively bred for use in hedgerows and gorse. Since the original cover was so difficult to penetrate, it required a dog with tremendous drive and a determination to fight through the brush when birds were scented. A fast, hard flush was physically impossible, so the clumber had to be very persistent on the trail until the bird was forced to the edge of the cover. Clumbers are slow-moving spaniels that normally hunt at a trot, which they can maintain all day. They may be rather casual on barren fields, but should come alive when they hit bird scent. They should demonstrate excellent noses as they investigate the faintest scent thoroughly. Once on scent, they should be persistent as they work it out and show intense desire to catch the bird before it flushes. Their water retrieving should be adequate for close decoy hunting. Their water entry is deliberate and their swimming speed moderate. The breed standard opens with, the Clumber Spaniel is a long, low, substantial dog. The Clumber's profile is unique among the spaniels. The Clumber Spaniel bitch parallels that of the dog, but bitches have somewhat less substance, size, and furnishings. The Clumber's long, low, substantial, and densely coated body enables it to work in areas of heavy cover. The Clumber's heavy brow, deep chest, straight forelegs, powerful hindquarters, massive bone, and good feet all give him the power and endurance to move through dense underbrush in pursuit of game. His white coat enables him to be seen by the hunter as he works within gun range. The first impression should be one of dignified strength. The dog should be moderately angulated and well balanced. The Clumber should be shown in excellent working condition. The Clumber Spaniel is a sporting breed, athletic and fit for purpose. Though lighter in bone than a dog, a bitch should nevertheless appear solid and sturdy. The adjectives fine, dainty, or weedy should never describe the Clumber bitch. There is a range of acceptable height and weight for both dogs and bitches. Dogs range in height from 18 to 20 inches at the withers and in weight from 70 to 85 pounds. Bitches range in height from 17 to 19 inches and in weight from 55 to 70 pounds. Notice that a large bitch may measure up to an inch taller than a dog, but she should never weigh more than the same dog. Though a Clumber Spaniel bitch must have adequate substance, she should appear feminine. There should be no doubt that she is a girl. In keeping with its general description as long and low, the Clumber should clearly be rectangular rather than square. Length is one of the most important characteristics of the Clumber breed. The Clumber has a massive, distinctive head. The head is large, but should not appear out of balance with the rest of the dog. The breed standard allows for some variation in head type, but all should have certain defining characteristics. The skull is broad with a flat top. It is not domed. The nose is large and is always some shade of brown, including beige or rose, but never black. The muzzle is broad and deep. The standard does not specify the muzzle length, but it should be long enough to facilitate the retrieval of pheasants and other large birds. There should be a noticeable stop and a prominent occipital bone. The flews are well developed and they overlap the lower jaw. These dog heads illustrate the broad, flat skull and well-developed upper lips. Both show the characteristic Clumber expression, which is accentuated by the furrow running between the eyes and up through the center of the skull. The heavy brow protects the eyes as the dog follows scent through heavy or thorny cover. The Clumber expression is an important characteristic of the breed. The expression is described as pensive. The Clumber should appear contemplative, as though it is deep in thought, and should never look harsh, mean, or timid. The bite should be evaluated according to the breed standard, which states that a scissors bite is preferred. An imperfect bite should not be the sole reason for discounting a dog. It is no more and no less important than other factors in the overall assessment. Small imperfections in the mouth, such as a level or reverse scissors bite, do not affect the dog's ability to retrieve game birds. The Clumber's deep-set eyes and the diamond-shaped or V-shaped lower lids contribute to the typical pensive expression. Some haw is exposed. This eye conformation tends to promote above-average tearing, but dogs showing evidence of severe tearing should be penalized. The triangular pendulous ears are important for collecting scent. The ears should be set on at approximately eye level. Clumber ears have a large range of motion, and different markings can greatly alter the appearance of ear set, so it is not always possible to determine ear set by observation only. A hands-on evaluation of the ear set is important. The ear leather is very thick, and the ears should feel heavy. The breed standard does not specify the length of the ears, and ear lengths should not be measured. Though they differ from each other, these dogs' heads are both of the correct type. Note that the two dogs are exhibiting erect ear carriage. Both have well-developed flews, noticeable stops, and heavy brows. Extreme or overdone brows or flews, or excessive showing of haw, such that the head appears sloppy, is incorrect and should not be rewarded. The bitch head should appear more feminine than that of a dog. The Clumber's long arched neck should fit smoothly into well laid back shoulders. There is often a wrinkle of excess skin around the top of the scapula, which is not incorrect, unless it indicates steep shoulder blades. The Clumber should never have a U-neck. The collar normally conceals the marked dewlap, which is common in the breed and should not be faulted. The neck frill should never be shaved or otherwise removed. The Clumber has a wide and deep chest. The ribs should show good spring, and the rib cage must be long and in proportion to the length of the body. The back is level and straight with no slope. There is a slight arch over the loin, and the croup is neither flat nor steep. A strong top line is important to the health of this long-backed breed, and weak or sway backs should be penalized. There is no preference for a docked tail, and natural and docked tails should be considered equal in value. The tail is set on just below the line of the back. When moving, the dog should carry the tail level. If the dog has a natural tail, the first few vertebrae of the tail should be level with the back while the dog is in motion. When standing, the tail may relax, particularly if the tail is left long. A Clumber should never have a gay tail and should never curl over the back. Puppies will tend to carry the tail higher than adults. Some leeway should be given to puppies with high tail carriage. There is plenty of room between the forelegs, which are short and parallel to each other. The forelegs should have good bone. The upper arm should have sufficient length and angle to place the elbow beneath the tips of the well-laid-back shoulder blades. The sloping shoulder and long upper arm allow the Clumber to have good reach with minimal effort, despite its short forelegs. A straight front puts the dog at a disadvantage in the field, since the resulting inefficient front gait will hinder its endurance. The Clumber Spaniel is a heavy dog for its size, and its front assembly must be sufficient to easily absorb 60 to 70% of its weight. The Clumber's feet are large, with thick pads. The front feet are round and cat-like. The rear feet are smaller than the front feet. The pasterns must be strong, with only a slight slope. The Clumber's overall balance is more important than the fore or hindquarters individually. The dog should appear as though it is standing squarely on all 4 feet without leaning fore or aft. The Clumber's stifle joint should be moderately angulated. The second thigh is muscular but not long. The combination of moderate stifle angle and correct second thigh length should place the point of the hock directly below or slightly aft of the farthest aft point of the pelvis. The hindquarter should have plenty of muscle. The rear pasterns are short. Don't be deceived by the artful grooming techniques utilized by some exhibitors in order to make the hocks appear lower than they actually are. The Clumber's white coat makes it readily seen by the hunter, even in high or thick cover. The Clumber should be predominantly white. With the exception of a spot at the root of the tail, it is preferred to have as few markings on the body as possible. Markings can be either orange or lemon, which is a shade of tan. Acceptable facial markings include patches on one or both eyes, a spot on the top of the head, or solid patches on the ears. Freckles on the muzzle, the ears, or on the forelegs are also common. Markings can make a big difference in the appearance of the head. They affect the apparent skull width, ear set, and shape and size of the head. These drawings show the same dog head with 6 different patterns of markings. When judging the Clumber, be sure to recognize the effects of differing colors and arrangements of facial markings. The correct coat feels soft and silky to the touch. It should be flat and straight, but there is often a slight wave along the back. The coat should never be curly, though as the dog ages, their hair will tend to curl around the withers. The breed standard states that feathering is moderate. Abundant coat hinders the movement of the dog in the field. Excessive coat is not correct and should not be rewarded. The Clumber should be shown in a natural state. The feet and ears may be trimmed with scissors, and the hind legs may be tidied up to the hocks. Trimming of the whiskers is optional. Under no circumstances should the Clumber be shaved. Evidence of shaving or excessive trimming of the coat should be penalized. The Clumber Spaniel hunts at a steady trot. Contrary to the notion sometimes circulated in the literature, the Clumber Spaniel should be neither lazy nor clumsy. Though not fast, the gait should be free and energetic. The head should be carried forward while the dog is gaiting. Erect ear carriage is not correct, as the dog naturally moves with its nose close to the ground as it seeks and follows scent. It is acceptable to request that a handler gait the Clumber at a slow jog and on a loose lead so that the natural gait and head carriage may be properly evaluated. The Clumber moves easily and freely with good reach and strong drive from behind. Ideally, the hocks should drive in a straight line. Because the Clumber has a long body and relatively short legs, the dog appears to roll. The back remains straight and level as the dog moves forward. Proper gait is very important to the Clumber's purpose and function, so a dog with correct movement should be rewarded. The Clumber is normally an easy-going dog, but it may be aloof and distant with strangers. It should not be timid or hostile, but it should not be faulted for showing some reserve. Though it usually excels as a family dog, the Clumber is an independent thinker and can be stubborn. The Clumber matures slowly. Clumber bitches are often at least 3 years old before reaching their full maturity. A dog may take even longer to reach his prime. Nevertheless, young dogs should exhibit the major defining characteristics of the breed. The Clumber Spaniel is characterized by a long, low, rectangular profile and good substance. Moderately angulated and balanced hindquarters, powerful and comfortable movement, but not fast. A large distinctive head and a predominantly white coat with natural, moderate feathering. When judging the Clumber Spaniel, it is important to consider the dog as a whole and not focus on specific faults. Finding and rewarding strength is important for helping to improve the breed, while awarding the top spot to a dog with a few faults but no major virtues can lead to mediocrity. Above all, judge the Clumber Spaniel by keeping in mind its original purpose and function as a hunting companion, working alongside the hunter, powering through heavy cover to seek out a hiding partridge or pheasant, flushing the bird to wing, and eagerly retrieving the downed bird to its master's hand.